No, well, it's on, but she hasn't pushed record yet. The red button.
The batteries are dead.
Yeah?
It's on right now. You just put it on. You have to wait for the screen light to come on before it's on.
It's recording.
Okay. Well, then
let's
shut it off
rewind
if
it.
you don't.
Okay. The night is just about to begin. Mother-daughter banquet, 1995. And here we have the lovely ladies that are in charge of registration. We have Summer Lynn. Oh, isn't she lovely? And yes, I am. I am. Major close-up. Major close-up. And we have Mrs. Herring. This is Summer's lovely mother. And of course, we have Karen. Karen, the lovely chairman of this banquet this year. And has she done an excellent job? Of course. Of course she has. We are all very proud of Mrs. Scory. Where is Heather? She must be sitting. Okay, well, we'll just go find her. Well, Karen, have a lovely night. Enjoy yourself. Yes.
Don't focus on me anymore.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The lovely punch servers this evening.
Shelly.
Let's back up. Oh, and are they doing a wonderful job? Oh, would you like to tell us about the punch this evening? Great punch. Are you looking forward to the evening, girls?
Yep.
Yes. Well, we're sure glad you're here, and we're sure glad you're doing this. You just look great. Thank you. Okay, this is the punch table. Everybody's very proud of it. Is this lovely? If you'll notice, the roses on the punch bowl were made by Tara Arnson's mother, Gail. They are lovely. She made them with plastic spoons. Beautiful. Just lovely. Okay, the banquet is about to begin. All these lovely ladies with their mothers are anxiously waiting. And oh, do they look lovely. One of the many events before graduation. Special time for mothers and daughters. There's Miss Heather Scory enjoying her salad. Lovely graduate. And then we have Jill. And let's find Amber. She's calling me again. She's always doing that.
Is the sound system okay? Can you hear me well? Okay. I wonder if I should hold it. I think I will. Okay. Well, my name is Norma Nelson, and I am your MC for this evening. For some of you, the name Nelson is familiar because of a certain English class that you took as a junior. How many of you had Mr. Nelson for a junior English teacher? Okay, thank you. And a few of you had him now a second time as a senior in your advanced placement English class. I have some questions for you. Let's see if you can answer them. What's the name of the portrait hanging in the front of his room? What? Mona Norma, right. What does he put on your desk or in your hand at different times? Jolly Ranchers. What did he make you do on Valentine's Day or for my birthday?
Make you a card.
Make me a card. Good job. I'll have to tell him you're very good. You get A's for that. Well, I want to thank you right now for the cards that you made for me. And I want to read some of them. I won't mention any names because I'm not sure how you would feel about that. And I didn't want to embarrass anybody, but they are beautiful cards. I hope you have a very happy birthday. The sun is shining for you. Have a good day. God bless you. Hope your special day is full of wonderful surprises. I hope you have a great birthday. You must be a very patient and kind person to put up with Mr. Nelson so long. I'm just kidding. Mr. Nelson is a great person, and I'm sure you are too because he married you. Love is patient and kind. It is not boastful. You must have a lot of love if you could put up with Mr. Nelson for so long. Roses are red, pansies are yellow. Here's a very happy birthday wish to the lady married to the English teaching fellow. I hope in your life you have seen all the colors of the rainbow. And I want to thank you very much. Not only were those words nice, but the artwork. Beautiful things, and I don't think he gave you very long to do it. I want to thank you very much for that. Now maybe you think that taking an 8 by 10 piece of paper and folding it in half and folding it in half again isn't very much. It doesn't mean much. But to me, that's one of the colors in the rainbow. It's something that I can add to my basket of collectibles. Tonight, we want to add to your collectibles, and we want to put some color in your life as you come to the completion of your education at WHS. This banquet, and many before this one, has been organized with Christ in mind. His name will be lifted up throughout the evening so that you can receive as much of him as you want. One of you young ladies wrote a proverb on the back of your picture that you gave Mr. Nelson. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. As you begin to become responsible for yourself, we want to help you see that there is someone that knows more than you do, and there is someone that will be there when the ones that you trust can't be there. Let us pray. Father, you have been, and you are, and you always will be forever. We invite you to be our guest here this evening. Come and take your place of honor with each one of us. Bless the food we will be eating. Help it to nourish our bodies. And bless the messages in song and words, and let them bring us closer to you. In your name, Jesus, we pray. Amen. Okay, that brings us to the eating part. At this time, we will be served our food. We want to thank the serving people from the KCs for the preparing of this meal and for putting it before us. Enjoy your food and your conversation with your friends.
a masterpiece. And as you've probably noticed, the words are printed in your program, and you might enjoy reading along, following along with the words. Your mothers have requested that I share this song with you because each of you truly is a masterpiece. You made my whole body. You formed me in my mother's body. You saw my bones being formed as I took shape in my mother's body. When I was put together there, you saw my body as it was formed. I praise you because you made me in an amazing and wonderful way. Before you had a name or opened up your eyes, or anyone could recognize your face, you were being formed, so delicate in size, secluded in God's safe and hidden place. With your little tiny hands and little tiny feet and little eyes that shimmer like a pearl, He breathed in you a song, and to make it all complete, He brought the masterpiece into the world. You are a masterpiece, a new creation He has formed, and you're as soft and fresh as a snowy winter morn. And I'm so glad that God has given you to me, little Lamb of God. You are a masterpiece. And now you're growing up. Your life's a miracle. Every time I look at you, I stand in awe, because I see in you a reflection of me, and you'll always be my little lamb from God. And as your life goes on each day, I hope that you will see just how much your life has meant to me. And I'm so proud of you. What else is there to say? Just to be the masterpiece He created you to be. You are a masterpiece, a new creation He has formed, and you're as soft and fresh as a snowy winter morn. And I'm so glad that God has given you to me, little Lamb of God. You are a masterpiece. You are a masterpiece. All the days planned for me were written in your book before I was even 1 day old. What you have done is wonderful. I know this well.
Hope as the evening goes on, you'll continue to enjoy it. A little more planned for you here. First of all, I'd just like to thank the people that worked, the committee heads. If they just please stand, please, for me. Sandy Nelson was the co-chairman for the banquet. Bev Leonard was the chairman for putting together the programs and the invitations. Jill Cannon was the chairman of the decorating committee. Susan Herring was the chairman, is the chairman ongoing for the finances. Gail Arnson did the punch. A lot of you helped to make decorations, to move tables, put things together, helped at Jill's house a few nights. The decorations are being used also tomorrow morning for the boys' father-son breakfast. We just appreciate everybody who helped in any way. We have a door prize tonight that was donated by Country Floral, and it's this arrangement of flowers here on this table. And you are the lucky winner if on the back of your program it says 1. Katrina Fisher won it. Good for you. After the banquet, you be sure to take that home with you. Okay. We appreciate Country Floral for donating that. We'll just move on with the program, and once again, just enjoy yourselves.
Okay, a few more housekeeping things. In front of you on the table are some Mary Kay sample bags. They were donated by some of our local consultants, Janine Hedren, Tammy Grunstead, and Mary Hale. These are for the graduate. So if they are by your plate and you're not a graduate, make sure that it gets moved down to the graduate. There are also bookmarks and scrolls. These two are for the graduate. And all the decorations that are on the table, the balloons, the everything that's there must stay for the boys tomorrow. They want to just use exactly the same thing that we have here this evening. So you can't take anything with you tonight except your program. Andrea, could we have you sing another song for us, please?
The title of my final song that I'd like to share with you is My Life is in Your Hands. The chorus of the song says, my life is in your hands, and though I may not see clearly, I will lift my voice and sing, 'cause your love does amazing things. I trust you, Lord. My life is in your hands. As you prepare to graduate and you look into the future, perhaps it's not all planned out for you. And that's exciting because it seems then that anything is possible. When I look back, and it wasn't that long ago, I think of all the what I consider great and exciting things that I have done and that have happened to me, from graduating from college to getting married to moving all over the southern United States to taking the highlight of my life, a high-speed taxi ride in an F-16, to having 5 children. Who would have thought, who would have predicted? I think I'm going to win the prize at the next class reunion for the greatest number of children. And I wouldn't have predicted that. But I couldn't always, and I don't always, see clearly as the song speaks of. But he does. And he could. And he will for you too. And he wants you to trust him too with your precious future. Life can be so good, life can be so hard.
and she is presently the Executive Director of the Christian Coalition for North Dakota. Please help me welcome Suzanne Spildy.
Always have to do a little finagling around. Let's try that again. There we are. I think maybe, could you turn it down just a little bit in the box? That would be great. Well, good evening. It is so good to be here tonight. I'm just delighted. I don't know how many of you had the chance to meet last year as I was serving our state as Miss North Dakota. But I have a very special place in my heart for Williston. I consider this my second home, and it's just absolutely a privilege to be with you this evening. I have a message that I want to share with you, and to get this off this evening, as I've been looking around the room, I'm thinking to myself tonight, this is a room full of love, isn't it? I see a lot of mothers and a lot of daughters. And I know that with every mother-daughter team, as it was true with my mother, there's always a little tension, there's always a little conflict. There might even be a few good rousing fights once in a while, but doggone it, I think you'd have to admit that tonight's a special night. I would hope that before you leave this place this evening, you would be able to turn around to your mother or your daughter and just tell them that, boy, I really appreciate you. I thank God that I was able to spend these 18 years with you and got to know you as well as we do. So I want to sing a little bit of a tribute song for you this evening to start off. Love in Any Language. Je t'aime, te amo, jag till jag blue. I'm your head, I love you. The sounds are all as different as the lands from which they came. And though our words are all unique, our hearts are still the same. Love in any language, straight from the heart, pulls us all together, never apart. And once we learn to speak it, all the world will hear. Love in any language, fluently spoken here. We teach the young our differences, yet look how we're the same. We love to laugh, we dream our dreams, we know the sting of pain. From Leningrad to Lexington, the farmer loves his land, and daddies all get misty-eyed to give their daughters hand. Oh, maybe when we realize how much there is to share, we'll find too much in common to pretend it isn't there. Love in any language, straight from the heart, pull the soul together, never apart. And once we learn to speak it, all the world will hear. Well, to you graduates, I have a question for you this evening. How many of you would like to be a success? Huh? For you mothers, I have a question this evening. How many of you would like to be a success? Huh? That's a better question, maybe. How many of you plan to have it all? Huh? That's a pretty good show of hands. I go around and I speak to a number of audiences every year, and when I ask that question, you always see a little bit of shakiness there. People inside, they really want to raise their hands, but they never quite get it up there. Well, this evening before I leave, I really hope that every one of you will be transformed into a dreamer. Did you catch that? I'm hoping that before I leave, I will turn all of you into dreamers. Now, some of you are listening to that word and you're thinking, I'm not sure that's a good thing. If you were at all like I was in elementary school, I had a few teachers that said I was a dreamer. And you try to lose that image. But tonight, I want you to think about being a dreamer in the best sense of the word. I really believe that dreams are the difference between people of success and people who merely exist. That reminds me of a statement made by a very famous American many years ago. Ben Franklin said, it seems like most people I know died at age 25. Of course, then they aren't buried until they're 65. I believe that dreams are the difference between people of success and people who merely exist. I believe in dreams. I believe that dreams do come true, just like Walt Disney says. I believe in dreams. There's a good reason why I believe in dreams, and I'm going to share a little bit of that with you in a few minutes. Last year, when I was traveling as Miss North Dakota, I had the chance to go all over the state. I spoke in most of the elementary schools here in Williston, as well as 150 assemblies across the state. I probably had the opportunity to speak to, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50,000 students. And I shared this one same message everywhere that I went, that every one of us are special people. We've been created for a purpose, and there's a plan in our lives. I believe that. I believe that not only because of my own life, but because I just know that it's true. Not only are we special, we've been given an enormous number of talents and gifts. Every one of us have all the talents we're ever going to get right now. So if you've been waiting for something special to land on you, well, I got news for you. You've already got it, whatever it is that you needed to be able to do the great things that have been planned for your life. Our job is to dream. Our job is to have faith. That's the exciting thing. I believe in dreams. Last year, I ran across this one student. It was in western North Dakota, an elementary school down south there in the Dickinson area. This little guy, I don't know, he's probably a second or third grader. He had just been so enamored with me the entire presentation, he never took his eyeballs off me, you know. So I thought, I'm really getting through to this kid, you know. And then at the end of the assemblies, every elementary assembly, I would stand at the doors of the auditorium, and then I would pass out autographed pictures of myself. Well, when this little guy came through, I thought I would make a special, you know, emphasis on him and really give him a little talking to. And when he came through, I asked him how he was doing. He said, I'm doing just great. And I said, did you learn anything today? He said, I sure did. I learned that because you're Miss North Dakota, you can dream big dreams. You know, and that was kind of fun, but it also kind of hurt me a little bit because I thought to myself, you know, either he hadn't listened to a word I said or otherwise I was a complete failure in that assembly. Because it's not important that he should know that I was a celebrity, therefore I could dream big dreams. It's important that he knew that I dreamed big dreams and then I became a celebrity. There's a plan on your life. There's a specific plan on your life. And you have the right to dream big dreams. I believe in dreams. I'll tell you, the main reason I believe in dreams is because my mother's a dreamer, in the best sense of the word. It is so delightful for me to have the chance to talk to a mother-daughter tease and to be able to talk to you tonight in this setting. I have so much appreciation for my mother, the fact that she believed in dreams. My mother tells me this story at least once a year, and when I was younger, more often than that. When she was about 14, 15 years old, her family was taking a
cross-the-country vacation. And one day as they were driving through Iowa, and she was looking out over the landscape, there on the side of this highway, she saw this most beautiful, gorgeous farm place. $1 million showcase farm, all white farm buildings. And she was smitten. She was in love. That was her dream, to live on that kind of a farm. Her father and her were the only ones awake in the car at the time. And she leans up in the seat and she says to my grandpa, "Do you see that farm? Someday I'm going to live on that place, or a place like it." Now you have to understand, my grandfather, even though he was a wonderful person, he was a very staunch German fellow, Johann Carstensen. And this guy, he says to my mother, "Dora, do you have any idea how much that place would cost? You are never going to live on a farm like that. And I don't even want you thinking about it because you're going to put pressure on your husband. You're never going to be a happy woman." Now my mother had a choice. She could have accepted that statement. I mean, that seemed to be commonsensical. She could have said, "You know, I don't know what I was thinking." But my mother had a dream that had been planted in her heart. And she continued to be faithful to that dream and to believe. She had faith. Well, my mother graduated from college several years later as an elementary education major. That spring, as all the teachers were interviewing for jobs, she also was interviewing for jobs, and she had several offers in western South Dakota. She could have taken one of those jobs, but in her heart she said, "I just can't handle that. There aren't any wealthy farmers in South Dakota, in the western part of the state, and I don't want to live over there." And so she waited, and came July, and no job offers. In August, finally there was a job offer. Southwest Minnesota in Westbrook. She thought, aha, the mother lode. There are a lot of wealthy turkey farmers in Westbrook, Minnesota. And so she moved down to Westbrook, and you know what she found out when she got there? There weren't any eligible bachelors in the entire county. And so she came home an awful lot that year, and she happened to find this certain fellow named Leroy Spildy. And you probably guessed it. What do you think Leroy Spildy was heading into in his career path? You're right, a pilot, of course. And so my mother married this pilot, he just loved the military, loved flying all over the place, and he loved moving all over the country. And so for the next 10 years, they traveled on that circuit. Well, then along came this thing called Vietnam War. And after my father lost a few friends and co-workers, he thought maybe being a farmer isn't such a bad deal. And so they moved back to South Dakota, and you know, that spring when they got to South Dakota, there wasn't a single farm place available in a 3-county wide area. So they made the best decision of their lives, with no job prospect, no farm. They decided to have me. And then they decided to go to school. And they moved up to NDSU, and my father got his PhD in agronomy. Now, someone who's a former pilot, PhD, doesn't seem like he's really heading into the career path of farming, does it? But you know, the superintendent of the experiment station, the agronomy seed farm, right outside of Castleton, decided to retire that spring after 26 years. And 1 month and 1 day after my father graduated with his PhD, our family moved on to one of the most beautiful $1 million showcase farms in all the United States, with all white buildings right off the side of the highway on I-94. And the next time you're zipping on down to Fargo and you drive through that area, pay attention to the north side of the road right outside of Castleton. That farm place is a dream, and it came true. I believe in dreams, and I believe that they're the difference between people of success and people who merely exist. I also believe in dreams because I saw one happen to myself. My mother, being a dreamer, she passed that down to me. What a wonderful legacy to pass down to your children. I gotta show you a picture. Any of you seen this little girl before? This was me at age 4. You can see on my skirt there on this side, there's a little number I'm hanging on to. There's a reason for that. This was the very first pageant that I ever got involved in. My mother thought it would be a wonderful experience, a nice bonding time for mom and daughter. What she failed to realize, of course, was that I was growing up on a farm with no female playmates, 2 older brothers that were very manly men who loved to hunt, fish, and kill rabbits and do papa wheelies and things like that. So I wasn't growing up to be much of a little lady at this time in my life. In fact, one time during this first pageant, this is my mother's favorite story, all the little contestants, the mothers, and the judges went out for a barbecue lunch outside of Valley City there on a ranch. Suzanne thought it would be fun to play a game with the other contestants. The game was that I found this dead rat in the lawn. I thought it'd be real fun to throw it at the other contestants' hair and things like that. I didn't do very well in that first pageant, but oh well. Anyone recognize this little girl? This extremely foxy chick was in 7th grade. I don't think, you have no idea how many years it took me to be able to show this picture to people, I tell you what. If anyone that knew me at this time in my life would have said, someday that girl's going to be Miss North Dakota. They not only would have had their head examined, I don't know what we would have done with them. The potential was there all the time. But I would have been really hard-pressed to find it at this time in my life. That's why a dream is so important. That's why it depends on the dream. Why am I talking to you about dreams tonight? Because you're heading out into new territory. You're making a claim for yourselves. These will be some of the most exciting next few years of your life. Probably within the next 5 to 6 years, you will have decided your career path for your life, the person you will spend the rest of your life with. You may end up choosing the place where you will live the rest of your lives. And I want to encourage you not to shortchange yourself. Dream big dreams. Don't be afraid of what's to come. Take on the challenge and enjoy your lives. Now, there may be a few of you that are thinking to yourselves, I kind of relate to that little kid when he says, well, that's fine for you. You can dream big dreams because you were Miss North Dakota. I want to encourage you. There's a great plan in your life. There's a purpose for why you're here in this world. I just hope that you will find that purpose and you'll rejoice in it. Now, how about the mothers? There's some of you that are sitting here tonight and you're thinking to yourselves, this is a painful time for me. This is a hard time for me. Some of my dreams are ending. Well, then I want to remind you of one very cliche statement. Life begins when the kids leave home and the dog dies. And I want to tell you a story, another story about my mother. I tell you, this woman is a dreamer. She is a dreamer. There was no experience in my mother's life that was as difficult as me leaving home. I was the last child. And my mother experienced the empty nest in a very big way. Fortunately, I only went to school 20 miles from home, but it was still difficult for my mother. But you know, that woman just kept on dreaming, just kept on believing, and she's been so blessed for it. She had another dream when she was younger, and that was to someday travel to Africa. Now, she would never have traveled to Africa when I was at home. It was only 2 years after I left for college that my parents went to Africa for the first time. My father had never shared that dream, and I don't think my mother had mentioned it very often throughout their married lives. But one day he came home with a chance to travel to Cameroon, and that was just the first time that they went to Africa. So I encourage you, mothers, there are great things in store for you as well. Just keep on dreaming. Your children need to see that in you to be a blessing for them. I want to share with you a verse. It's just came to my mind as I was speaking right now. This comes from Ephesians 3:20. Some of those days when you start to doubt yourself, you start to doubt any great plan in your life, I hope you'll think of this. Ephesians 3:20. Now to him who is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works within us. To him who is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works within us. Do you remember a verse from the Old Testament? God gives us the desires of our heart. A couple of weeks ago, I was thinking about that in a whole new way. I'd always translated that in my mind that if I'm faithful, then God gives me the desires of my heart. And it suddenly dawned on me, God gives me the desires of my heart. He planted them in me. So it's not so amazing that these dreams that I was dreaming about at age 4, some of the dreams my mother had at age 14, would end up coming to pass later in life. There's nothing amazing about that at all. It all makes sense. I want to leave you with a song this evening. I hope that those of you that are taking off, especially if you're traveling away to college, that you'll remember the words of this song in the days when things are a little tough, when they're a little hard pressed. Somebody's praying, and I can feel it. Somebody's praying for me. Mighty hands, they are guiding me to protect me from what I can't see. Lord, I believe. Lord, I believe. Somebody's praying for me. Angels are watching, and I can feel it. Angels are watching over me. There's many miles ahead till I get home. Still I'm safely kept before your throne. Lord, I believe. Lord, I believe. Angels are watching over me. Well, I've walked this barren wilderness when my pillow was a stone, and I've been through the darkest caverns where no light had ever shone. Still I went on, 'cause there was someone down on their knees. Lord, I thank you for those people who were praying for me. Somebody's praying, and I can feel it. Somebody's praying for me. Mighty hands, they are guiding me to protect me from what I can't see. fathers, that's your job for the next 4 or 5 years. Well, for the rest of your lifetimes.
All these chords. Ah, thank you, Suzanne. Thank you very much. And thank you, moms, our guest and daughter or friend. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, committee. Together, we all congratulate you, young ladies. You have achieved something wonderful. And there are a lot of people rooting for you. Don't ever forget that. Some of you have sent my husband and I an invitation along with a picture, an announcement, and we are honored to have received those from you. And I have put the pictures on our refrigerator, and they stay up there for the whole year until the new ones come next year, and then I have 2 years to think about. And I have the most beautiful fridge in the whole city, probably, unless the rest of you do that too. And I want you to know that we are reminded as we walk by those pictures that you're out there looking and seeking and searching, and we're going to hold you up, and we're going to pray for you, and we're going to be rooting for you and encouraging you as much as we can. Would you stand right where you are, and we'll close with prayer. Let us pray. Dear God, we do thank you so much for sending lots of people to love us and to show us the way to you. Would you please, Father, lead the way in our journey? Help it not to be too rough so that we fall by the wayside. And then again, help it not to be too smooth so that we think we can do it alone. Give us your mercies day by day, moment by moment, until eternity. And this, Lord, we ask in your precious name. Amen. Thank you for coming. Good night.
This is Madeline Code. We're making a memory. Yes, Madeline's been a little bit weepy, to say the least.
Good job, Madeline.
Oh, look at that. Oh, they're sweet. Oh, oh, for sweet. What a lovely mother and daughter.
All the Lewis and Clark people left. There's only 3 of us.
Here's Nicole.
Oh, here comes
I'm taking the
Oh my God. Lewis and Clark thing.
We're the only people in the room.
Mom, you're not done.
Dad, I can see her dropping down. She's like falling.
I know.
This is her Cassius, so make it really sweet.
Oh, I dropped that maybe.
This is where she's
Sorry.
standing right now.
Look at Melissa and then Nicole's still the same.
The moms. It's a sure good thing that there's napkins. Yes. To me. All right.
I just like to say I haven't had a tear yet. I'm the only stable person in this room.
Well, Amber Cannon, we are proud of you.
Nothing to be proud of.
Any other story about you?
Heather was talking about things that happened and she still cared about. I told her that she was getting got off the bus and some secretary spit in her hair. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sad. Oh, so sad.
Started crying, and then she gives me a Mother's Day present, and I start crying, and then she says the word senior, and I start crying.
You're such a wimp.
Oh, I heard you cry too. So my favorite memory is you, Court and Karen singing on the fireplace there, and you guys, I put that sticker, it ain't Woodstock, but it ain't bad about the picture.
I'll either say goodnight.
She's terrible.
We're all big and grown-ups now. Okay. Oh, okay. Come on, let's try it.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna practice, Cindy. Okay.
And then we'll all start crying in a twist.
Okay, Carmen.
Girls.
It doesn't sound very good. The end. Goodbye. Toodles.
On.
Okay, this is the end. We are saying goodbye. It's been really, really touching and really quite emotional. And I just want to go cry somewhere in the corner. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
We're out of here. This is really it.